Good morning, Tommy.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Harbottle.
Morning, sir.
Well, what excuse have you got this morning, Harbottle?
What for, sir?
Being late?
Oh, the clock wasn't put back.
The what?
The clock wasn't put back.
The clock wasn't put back? Now, listen to me, Harbottle. I've listened to all your excuses for the past 40 years.
45, sir.
Well, 45, if you like. It seems more like 105 to me. Anyway, I've listened to your excuses, and at least most of them have been plausible. Let me see. There was the one you used to use every summer.
Which one was that, sir?
Or something about your mother making jam. That was it, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
And what was the answer to that one?
I had to go to the cemetery for the jars.
Oh, yes. Very ingenious. And then there was another one about putting your pants on back to front, which made you walk backwards. And you walked a mile away from the school before you noticed it. You remember that one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so having used up all the old excuses, you're trying a new one about the clock not being put back. Well, I've always given you credit, Harbottle, for inventing at least plausible excuses. I've even boasted about your excuses to my colleagues. I've held you up as an example of inventive genius. And now, after all these years, you let me down. So you're late because the clock wasn't put back, is that it?
Yes, sir.
Well, don't you realize, you idiot, that the clocks were put back on October the 8th?
Yes, sir.
And don't you understand also that if your clock hadn't been put back, it would still be an hour fast, in which case you'd have been too early?
Yes, sir.
Well, why do you say you're late because the clock wasn't put back?
I was, sir. You see, my mother takes my bedroom clock to pawn on Friday and gets it out on Monday. Only this morning she hadn't enough money to get it out.
Well, what about it?
Well, the clock wasn't put back.
Harbottle,
Yes, sir?
when you're in Scout's uniform, you wear good conduct stripes on your arm, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Well, one day you're going to make an excuse which I shan't believe. Do you know what will happen then?
Yes, sir. You'll take away my stripes.
No, I shan't. I shall give you some more, but not on your arm. And you were late too, my boy. Any excuse?
No, sir.
Why not?
Harbottle's used them all.
Oh, well, you can do 100 lines for not being able to invent one.
All right, old cop.
What did you say?
I said it's a pity we don't pawn our clock.
Oh, well, that's all right. Well, what shall we commence with today?
Leapfrog.
Leapfrog? I'm talking about lessons. It's not playtime yet, and if we play leapfrog, what's Harbottle going to do? We'll take geometry.
Why?
What?
I said why?
Well, what do you mean by why?
Why take geometry?
Because it's time you knew something about it.
I know as much about it as you do.
So do I.
Oh, do you? All right, Harbottle, you can tell us something about it. Go on.
The capital of France is Plaster, and it stands on the River Barmy.
What was that? What did you say?
The capital of France is Plaster, and it stands on the River Barmy.
The capital of France is Paris, you idiot, and it stands on the River Seine.
That's what I said.
You didn't say anything of the kind. And what's that got to do with geometry?
I thought you said geography.
I said geometry.
Well, what's that?
What, geometry? Well, it's
Well, go on. What is it?
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to Harbottle. Geometry, Harbottle, is about, well, it's about...
It's about 12 o'clock. Can we go now?
No, you can't. Geometry's about,
It's about time you knew something about it.
I know all there is to know about it.
Do you?
Yes.
Right. Well, what's the pons essinorum?
What's the what?
What's the pons essinorum?
The pons,
The pons essinorum.
well, I'm not here to answer conundrums.
That's not a conundrum. It's geometry.
I know, I was only joking.
All right. Well, what is it?
Well, it's rather difficult for me to explain.
I know it is. Well, go on. What's the pons essinorum?
Well, it's a place where you go to recuperate after you've been ill.
You're thinking of a sanatorium. Well, what's a hypotenuse?
A what?
A hypotenuse.
Oh, that's easy. Anybody knows what a hypotenuse is. Why, you know that, don't you, Harbottle?
Yes.
Well, what is a hypotenuse?
Another name for a chemist.
Nothing of the kind. You're thinking of a pollinaris. A hypotenuse is an animal which lives in Africa with a very thick skull.
With a what?
With a very thick skull.
No, a hypotenuse is the longest side of a triangle. Supposing you, Harbottle, and I form a triangle.
Yes?
I'd be the short side, Harbottle the longer side, and you would be the hypotenuse.
Oh, so I'm the hypotenuse.
Yes.
There you are, Harbottle. I'm the hypotenuse. Now do you know what a hypotenuse is?
Yes, sir.
Well, what is it?
It's an animal with a very thick skull.
Oh, you're hopeless. All right, well, dismiss for play and don't be late back, both of you. Well, we'll take history now. That will give you an opportunity to let some of your knowledge come out, Harbottle.
Well, sir, what is it?
What?
What do you want me for?
I don't want you. Why?
I thought you said come out.
No, I said it'll give you a chance to let some of your knowledge come out.
Oh.
Well, who signed the Magna Carta? Come on, who signed the Magna Carta? Who signed the Magna Carta?
Wasn't me.
He's a liar.
What's that?
He's a liar. I heard him say it.
Heard him say it? Say what?
You've got a face like a rotten tomato.
Did you say that?
No, sir.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No,
Shut up, Harbottle, shut up. I'll settle this. Did you say I got a face like a rotten tomato?
No, I didn't say anything about rotten.
Oh, that's all right. Well, come on, who signed the Magna Carta?
Alfred the Great.
Who?
Alfred the Great.
Alfred the Great. Alfred the Great, nothing at all to do with it. Why, it was years before his time. Oh, by the way, didn't I ask you to write an essay on Alfred the Great?
Yes, sir.
Well, that was about 4 years ago. Did you ever do it?
Yes, sir.
Well, I never got it.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, well, that's all right, as long as you get these things in before you leave, you know. We can always examine them and send them on to wherever you're working. Let me see. Alfred the Great got a licking in a battle. Got a what?
A licking.
What do you mean?
A biffing. A walloping.
I wish you'd try and write English.
A tousing.
Oh, a sloshing.
Yes.
Oh. So a woman said that he could hide in her house until her husband came, but not after. Well, why not after?
He got another slushing.
Just I'm not talking to you, Harbottle. Shut up. Well, where's the rest of this?
That's all.
Well, is that all you know about Alfred the Great?
That's all you've taught us.
Oh, no, it isn't. You don't pay any attention, you know. Don't you remember I told you about him sitting on the seashore, commanding the waves to go back and...
I know more than that.
What about?
Alfred the Great.
I mean, you ought to. Well, come on, who signed the Magna Carta?
Well, what is it?
What's what?
A Magna, whatever it is.
Oh, the Magna Carta?
Yes.
Well, the Magna Carta was,
Well, what was it?
Well, it doesn't matter what it was. I want to know who signed it.
Do you know who signed it?
Well, of course I know.
Well, what do you want to ask us for? As long as it was signed, why worry about it? It's a lot of talk about nothing. Get on with something else.
I'm not getting on with anything else till we've settled who signed the Magna Carta.
Well, go on. We'll buy it. Who did?
Buy it? I'm not selling anything. King Charles signed the Magna Carta.
I know that.
Well, why didn't you say so when I asked you?
I didn't know then.
You say that King Charles signed the Magna Carta.
He did.
Where?
What?
I said where? Where did he sign it?
Well, the Magna Carta was signed at,
I know where it was signed.
Oh, do you?
Yes,
Well, where was it signed?
at the bottom.
Well, we know that, you idiot. We want to know the name of the place.
Oh, the place.
Yes.
I think it was signed at Dover.
Dover? Nonsense. That's where William the Conqueror landed.
Oh, I always thought he landed at Hastings.
Hastings? No. Hastings was the place where the Pilgrim Fathers sailed from for America.
You know, sir, if you only knew a little more, you could get a job here as a teacher.
What do you mean I could get a job here as a teacher? I am a teacher here.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
I thought you were just keeping the seat warm until the real teacher got back.
Oh, why, is there anything wrong with my teaching?
No, your teaching's all right. It's your knowledge that's all wrong.
Why, how is it wrong?
Well, your history is different from the books. To start off with, you said King Charles signed the Magna Carta.
Did I?
You did?
Well, I meant Henry VIII.
Did you?
Yes.
Well, you're wrong again. Henry VIII was the king who had 6 wives.
Well, that wouldn't prevent him from signing the Magna Carta, would it? As a matter of fact, it was owing to his having trouble with his wives that he signed it.
Why? What was the Magna Carta about?
Well, you're not old enough to know. Besides, it's time to dismiss. You can go now, both of you.
Righto, thanks. Oh, by the way, someone once told me that a little knowledge was a dangerous thing. Is that right?
Yes, why?
You ought to give us a long holiday.
Oh, what for?
Keep us out of danger.
I'll think it over. Get out.